What is a psychological trick you know to really fuck with someone? Silence. It's a very effective interview technique. Because as humans, we are conditioned to break silences in conversations. When you are talking to someone, if you interrupt them and say "walk with me" in a busy tone and start walking away, they will walk with you and continue the conversation without hesitation. You can lead them wherever you want, really. I worked with a friend who kept a 12-pack of Mountain Dew under his desk. For a while I'd sneak extra cans back into the box. Not a lot, and just enough that he was sure he drank more than the box would hold. When you get into an elevator with other people, don't turn around to face the doors. Immediately after they look at the time, ask them if they know what time it is. Chances are, they will have to look at the time again. Stare at their forehead while they are talking. It really freaks people out. Jim was onto something. Hand them trash in a conversation. Usually, if you reach out with something, the other person will take it, and if they're busy talking to you, they won't pay attention to what you're handing them. I do it sometimes for fun, and the expression I get when they finally look down and realize I just handed them my trash to take care of is great. It's not really psychological, but let's say someone is 25 or 30 feet behind me while we're both walking down a hallway. There's a 90-degree corner coming up. I round the corner, then run really quietly so I'm really far ahead of the person behind me. Then I walk my normal speed again. When they round the corner, they're surprised to see how far away I am now compared to how normal I was walking. I forget the exact study, but basically in an office setting you can tell anyone anything, and as long as it's on an official memo, anywhere between 60 to 80% will comply. I think in the study they had it is take this memo to an isolated room, and most people just did it. Wild stuff. If you want to really mess with someone, go up to them and ask them, "Hey, do you ever get that creepy deja vu feeling?" Then like a week later wear the same thing and ask them the same question. I've done this to so many people and their reactions are hilarious. Point out something that someone does all the time. One of my coworkers would leave the office at the end of the day and forget his headphones. So he'd leave the office and have to run in again to grab them. I told him I noticed he always forgot his headphones, and how he's self-conscious about it and never forgets them anymore. My boss handles stress terribly. So in one-on-ones, he tends to snap and spend the hour complaining about people. Sometimes people end up getting chewed out or yelled at in a meeting that's supposed to be about their development. When I first began in my department, he noticed me putting on perfume and said his wife wears the same one. It's not anything fancy, just one that's widely known. Every time I go into my one-on-one with him, I apply the perfume right before. He generally speaks very softly to me and doesn't snap at me like he does with others. And I'm pretty sure it's because he smells me and thinks of his wife. Fucked up that it takes that to get a manager to treat you humanely. But it works. Offer somebody gum, but don't take a piece for yourself. Tell your family you're going to get cigarettes, and then never come back. Psychologically fuck 'em good. Wave to random people in public, and when they wave back, look at them confused and point behind them. They'll be crying about the awkwardness until they start their new life in another country. Edit. Thanks for gold, but still why? When meeting someone for the first time, say "oh hello" again and shake their hand even if they go for like a high five. Transfer it into a handshake. They will not ask for your name or any information. They will just think that you definitely know them from somewhere and they just forgot. Look distractedly at their nose or some part of their face. Then scratch or rub the corresponding part on your own face. They'll supposedly get confused and think they have something on them. This was from the book Mind Control: The Ancient Art of Psychological Warfare by the dubiously named Ha Lung. My emotionally unstable brother bought this book and I had to see what the hell he was actually reading. The author sounds like a nutcase throughout his writing. Take a fake homework to school and ask them if they had done it. If you're close-quartered with someone, you can intentionally choose one word out of the lexicon to mispronounce. Swear up and down that your way is the correct way, and the correct way is actually the wrong but popular version. After months of intentionally mispronouncing the word shrimp, my mother now says scrimp. It's been 2 years and I can't undo this. Help. Don't worry, you can hardly notice it. Say, have a good day, and then follow it with something applicable only to them. Then watch them say, thanks you too, only to realize what they said doesn't make sense. I do this with Uber Eats drivers all the time. Have a great day. Drive safe. Thanks. You too. Wait. If you have access to their computer, take a screenshot of their desktop and set that screenshot as their new desktop image. Then hide all the icons in a folder. They'll go nuts trying to click the images, but they're just part of the wallpaper. If somebody is talking and talking, giving you no chance to say what you want to say, drop something very loud on the floor, then begin to talk. I can make my pupils really big on command. It's some weird thing. So I'll be having a conversation, both looking at each other, and slowly I'll begin to increase the size of my pupils until it's at the max, and the person I'm speaking to will kinda stop the conversation and be all like, WTF. Not really how to fuck with someone. But if you're sitting on a bus or train and don't want someone sitting next to you, don't put your bag on the seat. Someone will ask you to move it so that they can sit down. Instead, as someone walks by, pat the empty seal whilst making direct eye contact with them and smiling. Works 9/10 times, but the one time it doesn't work, good luck. Edit. I know I put seal instead of seat, but I think it's funny, so I refuse to change it. Tell someone you want to play rock, paper, scissors. As you're both getting ready to count down, compliment their shirt or something to throw them off and start counting down. Then, you pick rock. When you interrupt someone's concentration during the game, they automatically go to the most recent thing in their head, which will be scissors. Rock, paper, scissors. It works every time until they realize you're fucking with them. Adding real quick to the end of a request adds a sense of urgency that compels people to do whatever you tell them. Example, Derry, give me your wallet real quick. And before you know it, Derry hands you his wallet. I had a friend that would casually eat a slice of American cheese while taking orders at a particularly rude table, not say anything other than normally asking what they wanted to eat. Bite of cheese. It would immediately make the guy trying to impress his date by being awful to the server totally docile because it was so awkward. My favorite is the slight lean and making a face like you're farting. I only use it to fuck with people. I don't actually fart. It'll derail any conversation. Especially in my teenage years, it freaked people out to not react angrily to their tries of bullying, insulting you. At some point, I even agreed with them on certain topics. That got them extremely confused. Edit. Typo. When they are angry with you, simply say, "You seem upset. What's the matter?" Then smile. If that doesn't work, punch them in the throat. When talking to them, stare at their nose, and when they ask why you're staring at their nose, tell them that you aren't. Nursery rhymes. Hum a few bars, stop, then start a few bars later and repeat. If you pick one person and one song for that person, it can be quite annoying, especially done over a few days or weeks. Had a group of engineer overseers, 3 of them to be exact, that I would always use 3 blind mice every time they got close. Took them about 4 months to finally say, "Please stop." Just walk past someone, act depressed, and say, "Please stop doing that." It will eat at them. With zero context, ask someone, "Who did they tell you that to?" Then just watch as pure confusion washes over their face. The sentence means literally nothing and it is fantastic. If you're eating with them, ask them a question as soon as they take a bite of food. Call them something they are wearing by choice. Whatever you say. Turtleneck. Sure thing. Pink shorts, yeah, that'll work. Cock ring. If you turn your head to look at something, people tend to mimic your behavior to see what you are looking at. It's instinctual. So I will look at random emptiness, and if people look at where I am looking, I ask, do you see that? When they say no, I reply, I gotta take my meds. Or something similar. Some people have lively reactions. It's fun to fuck with people's heads. Before I argue or debate with a relative, I ask them what the criteria would be for them to change their mind. If they say there's no chance, then we talk about something else. Have sex with them. Guaranteed to fuck with them. It's been proven that people will stand in a long queue, even if they have no idea what it is for. People do it all the time at festivals and things. Start a queue with your friends in front of a trash bin or something innocuous. Then everyone just casually walks away after a load of people not in on the joke join the end of the queue. I always say thank you in a different language each time I get off the bus. When disagreeing with someone, try replacing but with and. It is remarkably disconcerting when the person you are arguing with stops arguing with you and you don't realize it. Say shop again, say shop 5 more times. What do you do at a green light? I bike, commute to and from work. I've found that when drivers road rage towards me, nothing gets under people's skin more than not being mad as well. When they yell, swear, honk, etc., all I do is laugh or do the crying pantomime, and it usually sends people through the roof. They hate that I'm having a good time when they are raging. Kind of psychological. Pin a spread out banknote to a dartboard over the bullseye. Tell someone if they hit it 3/3 times, they keep it. If they lose, they owe you the equivalent amount first shot. They stand the standard distance away second shot. They take a large step forward third shot. They take 2 large steps backward. Sounds easy, but most will fail miserably. When they're talking, glance at something behind them. Go back to making eye contact immediately. Pause for a second, then glance at the same spot again, but make some subtle facial expression for a split second, like confused, concerned, intrigued, etc. They'll probably look back, if they do ask them what they're looking at before they ask you. Wow, what a great thread for sociopaths. While in a conversation with someone, just smoothly hand something over. They will automatically take it, and vice versa. If you take something from their hand, they will automatically hand it over. If you've been in a space in close proximity to a stranger, elevator, library, etc., and neither of you have acknowledged each other or spoken, when you go to leave, say, "It was nice to meet you." Then walk away.